What's going on, people? It's your boy Calwu, and welcome to another episode of Planet Wu. And once again, I'm here. Gotta give y'all a shout out and appreciation for everybody that comes and rocks with the show and leave comments below. That give me their input, whether it's on YouTube, in my inbox, whatever. I appreciate y'all so much. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Today will be another early review video. I'll be doing more of these. Today we have 4 anime on the list. And like I said, I'll be doing more. Next week. A whole bunch more anime are coming into episode 3. So, we just gonna kick it and rock off with the first one. In honor of Godzilla and King Kong, Godzilla Singular Point. Godzilla Singular Point. It's what you expect. It's a kaiju anime where but so far in episode 3 or in up to where we're at, we still have yet to see Godzilla. We heard Godzilla screeches, but we ain't seen Godzilla's face yet. The anime follows main character Mei, who is in college studying the theory and the possibility of there being proof of creatures that don't exist in between, and like interdimensional creatures and things of that nature. In short, I say it's cryptozoology, which is pretty much the same. So that's what she studies. And she eventually, in her study, she gets a job through this company where she kind of doing like her work, what do you call it? Like, practicum. I can't think what it's called, but it's like you're working for the school and you got to put work hours in for your career. So she's like, but she's not shadowing anybody. She's actually replacing somebody who's on a business trip, and she's kind of doing this research and stuff. And doing so, she ends up finding out that it's this company called the Otaki Factory that put in these certain machines, and they're able to, and this machine is like recording different type of animal noises or whatever. And this is when we see our first kaiju, where it's this creature called a Rodan, which looks like a typical pterodactyl, except for in its mouth it just got rows and rows of like teeth inside of its mouth. And it attacks, and she pretty much, but like I said, before the kaiju attack, let me kind of backtrack a little bit, I'm sorry. Before the kaiju attack, she starts doing research about the Otaki Factory, trying to figure out what they are, who they are. And once she end up going to them, she's seen one of her childhood friends, Habaru, which is a guy she went to high school with, and they were friends. So talking to him, she ends up, learning about the Otaki Factory, and then she ends up meeting Yoon there, and she also ends up meeting Goru Otaki, which is the old guy that runs it. You see Goru Otaki, this old guy looks crazy. He got like the George Jefferson is gray. He got like it looked like they modeled his character off the Guildmaster from Fairy Tail. But this dude got he's short just like him. He like grouchy, got a loud mouth. My man, both his eyes is lazy. Like his eyes be all over the place. Like this dude just straight up look crazy. And he adds so much flavor and just spice to the anime. But after she meet them, a Rodan attack. They have the Otaki Factory has a mech that they were working on, because Godo pretty much had been predicting that eventually giant monsters are gonna appear, and they were gonna start attacking. So they needed something that was gonna be able to help humans defend themselves. And so his group started building a mech, and they like, hey, Yoon is an engineer. Habido kind of works as an engineer, communications guy. So it's kind of like, yeah, whatever, let's do it. And they getting paid to do it. Why not? I'm making good money, and I get to make crazy tech. I'm probably gonna do it. And then May ends up getting this weird little tech called Piro 2. Is an AI that just invaded in her computer. And the AI has been helping her like process all her notes and compare between other people's notes across the web and file it and like it's just really helping her do a lot of stuff and compile all her information and making like perfect papers and things of that nature. And it's just a really fun anime so far. But I am still waiting to see Godzilla. This is what I'm waiting. This is what I'm ready for. I'm ready to see Godzilla. I want to see the craziness once Godzilla show up. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for Godzilla Singular Point. The next anime I will be talking about is Shaman King 2021. Now, for those that have been listening to my podcast, my audio podcast, and seeing me vidcast, and actually seen my my news announcement for Shaman King 2021, which I'll put here, knows that Shaman King, the original, actually gave me like a PTSD and had me scared to finish anime because the ending was just so bad. Like I just stopped. I guess I'd probably say about like around this time it was probably like 20 anime that I stopped like 2 or 3 episodes before the last episode and just never went back to them. Because I was just scared it was just going to be bad. And I would feel like I wasted my life. I'm way past that now. That was like years ago in my first go of watching anime. But it's 3 episodes in, and so far it's literally following the exact same storyline as the original Shaman King anime. You know, they do more because I don't remember them in the very first one showing what happened in the preparation of the birth of the twins. And so they did that in this one for sure. And I loved how you know how was born, and then his spirit showed up and protected him. They're like, oh holy crap! Showed what happened with the dad and the grandfather and how they got jacked up, and that junk was sweet. Then you know after that it kind of fast forward and you see Yo and his laziness like always. And one of the things that's interesting in Shaman King is from a writer standpoint, you can kind of say that Manta is the main character, or Manta is like, or the anime is from Manta's point of view, because a lot of times, at least earlier on, even before we seen Yo, we seen Manta, and then Manta saw Yo and was like, yo, who is that guy hanging in the graveyard? And yeah, that's kind of weird. And then he starts seeing all the ghosts and stuff and kind of getting drawn into the world. And you know, by episode, you know, so pretty much in the first 3 episodes, like I said, you see Yo, you see Manta, you see Ryu, because they do that whole thing where Yo first get a Midamaru and he pretty much beats up Ryu in the graveyard in front of his boys. Then you see Ren, because Ren wants a Midamaru from Yo. So you see that fight. And that was a pretty dope fight. Then from there, you see so when after you see Ren, of course you're gonna see his spirit Bison. Then after that fight, Yo's in a hospital and Anna shows up. So now you're introduced to Anna and you get to see like her personality, and she shows up rude as hell. She straight slaps the shit out of Manta when he asks like, why am I buying you pop from the machine? And she just slapped him like, bitch, have some respect for the future queen. And I'm like, yo, that was straight up unwarranted. He don't know the fuck you are. Like, let some random woman, I'm chilling with my boy get hurt in a fight, me in the hospital, and some random woman I ain't never seen before just show up and be like, yeah, I see my boy kind of like, yo, what the hell is she doing here? And I noticed that. And I'm like, okay. And then she walks up to me and goes, yeah, go get me a pop. I look at my boy like, who's this? Why am I getting you a pop? You ain't even introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Anna. I'm his future wife. Can you please get me a pop? Like, it's levels to ask this shit. And yeah, so that junk was disrespectful. Then we got to see Ren's sister June, which then we get to see one of my favorite spirits, or Tool's corpse puppet, Pyron Lee, who is based off of Bruce Lee, which is fire. The anime is really dope so far. It gives me that same feel I had when I first started watching Shaman King. I can't wait till they get into the tournament, because the tournament is definitely the highlight of it all. Actually, no. My favorite is when they fought June and Ren's dad. I think his name was Tao Yao, I think is what his name is. But yeah, I can't wait to see that fight. That's like my favorite fight in the whole series. That fight was just too crazy. Next anime is Shakunetsu Kabaddi. And I say it like that for those that don't know. Kabaddi is an Indian sport of extreme tag, pretty much. So I'll read to you what the description of the anime is, and then I'll kind of give you what it is, and kind of give you more information on Kabaddi. So first year high schooler Tatsuya Yoigoshi, the former ace of a junior high school soccer team who has come to dislike sports, received an invitation to join the Kabaddi club. Initially mocking the idea of Kabaddi, he takes an interest after watching an intense competition akin to martial arts at a practice session. So, when they say Yoigoshi was an ace, this dude was called the Invincible Yoigoshi because this dude didn't like being touched. So he was literally untouched on the soccer field, which was crazy. The character who lured him in is Yoigoshi. So Yoigoshi gave up sports. He hates sports because of how his teammates were lacking behind him, and he felt that because everybody he would play with like that would lack the passion that he would have, so it's better not to do team sports. So he decided to go in and be a full-time live streamer. Not being that popular and not getting a lot of streams, this guy comes to his apartment named Iura and invites him out and is like, yo, you see how many followers you got now? I gave you 100 followers in a day. He's like, I can get you more. All I ask you to do is come to this practice. You don't like it, you keep the followers you got. No, he was like, if you don't like it, I ain't gonna ask you no more. But if you like it and you join, then I'll, if you keep coming, I'll help you keep building your channel. So she goes, and the first thing they do is they put him up against a match with another first year called Azamichi. Azamichi is way shorter than him. Azamichi is probably a little slower than him, but he cocked diesel. And they have this match, and Yoigoshi loses. So it's like, okay, whatever. And then you see Misumi there, which is a second year. And then you see Date, which is also a second year. Not much is really known about either one of those characters. I'm assuming that Misumi did probably is a bodybuilder and did a lot of weightlifting, and I'm assuming that Date did a lot of martial arts, because one of the things that you see in different anime with certain characters is that when characters don't have any eyes, like their whole eye is just white, that means they are into some type of spiritualism or martial arts, and they have reached that level of harmony, or they've reached that next level. So I'm assuming that Date is a martial artist of some sort. So now to explain the sport of Kabaddi. Kabaddi is a game of extreme tag where there's a court. So just imagine the basketball court playing dodgeball, right? But instead you're not playing with a dodgeball. So it, of course, it's the center line, and teams take turns being attacking or defending. So let's just say I'm the first one attacking. As soon as I cross the line, I have to start going Kabaddi, 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 over and over and over again until I tag an opponent, and then I have to turn around and run back and get back across that line, whether it's a hair, an eyelash, a fingertip, whatever. As long as I get something across that line, I score points. And I score points based on every person I touch. So if it's 3 people on the other side, I manage to slap shit out of all 3 of them and then run across and get back, I get 3 points. If I tag one and I run and another one grabs me and I manage to, drag them across the line, that counts as 2 points because I tagged one person and the other person technically made contact with me, which still counts as a tag because he didn't stop me. So then I would score 2 points. And then, but if they grab me and tackle me and stop me from moving, then they score a point. And the game goes back and forth like that until the time is up and whoever got the most points win. And just like the Japanese, man, I'm telling you, they just got something special about them with just being able to make sports anime. Sports anime is just like crazy to me. Like, I never had any interest in this sport. I've heard about it before because, I watch international shows from all other countries and I heard about it before. But I had no interest. And then I see this anime and since I watched this anime, I've literally watched a match of Kabaddi. So it took them 3 episodes, actually about 2 episodes, so 2 weeks to get me to actually go look at a real Kabaddi match. And that junk was fire. If you love sports animes, this is definitely one to check out. That junk is fun. You get it like you're learning the sport with Yoigoshi, and you learning about the different tactics. You learning about the different rules. You just learn, like, it's just so much. They land it out and making it so simple that if you even wanted to start a Kabaddi league or a team in your local area, you could just by watching this anime. And last but not least, the next anime I'll be talking about is Mashiro no Oto. And the first thing I gotta say is the intro for this anime is fire as fuck. I heard I heard the Shamisen. Shamisen is like a traditional Japanese guitar, and I heard it going, and I'm like, I know this play anywhere. And the first thing that popped in my mind was this anime, Gibiate. Because Gibiate's intro was crazy. And I'm like, is this Yoshida Brothers? And so I go and look it up. And I'm like, it is Yoshida Brothers. I'm like, fire. I'm like, they better not have got anybody else to do this intro. Because them dudes with the Shamisen is crazy. Crazy. But the anime, Mashiro no Oto, is about Setsu Sawamura, who is a high schooler that drops out of high school and kind of loses himself once his grandfather dies. His grandfather, Matsugoto, is known as one of the world's greatest shamisen players, and like he's like a legend. So Setsu and his brother Wakana grew up listening to their grandfather. They learned how to play from him. They tried to imitate him, and so like their grandfather was their whole world because their grandfather was the one who was actually taking care of them. And so in the first episode, when he, after their grandfather's funeral, he decides to leave. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm going to Tokyo. I'm just about to try and figure stuff out. So he leaves. He goes to Tokyo and ends up running into this girl. So the girl brings him in and lets him stay with her. And it's a really sweet girl named Yuna who works 2 jobs to support her boyfriend, who's the leader of a band, to make sure he can just focus on his music. And her boyfriend and Setsu end up getting into it at one of, because he like, yo, should no woman be paying for shit for a man? Like, that's not what's happening. Like, that's not what's hot in these streets. And he pretty much went at her boyfriend like, yo, you trash. Like, and Yuna ended up catching her boyfriend cheating or whatnot. And, kind of cut him off. And at her boyfriend's show, he started being a prima donna and decided he didn't want to go on stage, even though the rest of his band was there ready to go. So she grabbed Setsu and was like, you go out there and play. He went out there and played and pretty much went viral. And from that video, his mother pops up, Yumeko. His mother is rich and famous. And you ask yourself, well, why the hell their mother ain't take care of him, and why she ain't show up to the funeral? And it blew my mind, and I was weirded out about it. And they still haven't talked much about his mother, Yumeko, yet. So I'm waiting for that. But she pretty much came with her goons, her bodyguards, snatched him up and was like, yeah, you about to live in this apartment. You about to go to school because I don't like dealing with no dumb niggas, period. And you gonna practice this because when I start going on tour, you gonna play for me. And it's like, wow. So like, I'm just still like, I'm confused. I'm still waiting on the storyline behind his mother, and why her sons really don't care for her, and I just want to know more about her character and personality before I want to say she a trash mother. Yeah. So over the next few episodes, he's going to school, and he fixed a broken shamisen for a girl named Shuri. And Shuri wants to learn how to play, but you end up finding out Shuri wants to learn how to play because her grandmother with dementia hums a tune but don't remember where she heard it, or don't remember the whole tune. And it's actually an impromptu song that Setsu's grandfather made. And yeah, so the last episode kind of went off where Setsu ended up agreeing to play it for her after their teacher took everybody that looked like they wanted to be a part of the club to the concert for this guy who's like the best player at this point. And the teacher has a crush on him. And yeah, so after that concert, he agrees to teach her, play for her grandmother live just to kind of see her face. And like the anime is just about Setsu going on this weird little journey where he starts off where he give it up, and then things are happening in place to kind of get him to a point where he starts to get that passion and drive. And this is shonen, so they do a lot of like scene changes of like weather and the music being able to draw you in, and it's great. That junk is fire. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I can't wait for the next episode to see him play for Shuri's grandmother. I'm probably gonna cry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna bring me to tears because like I love my grandmother, and like my grandmother doesn't suffer from dementia, and I couldn't imagine going through that and then seeing the lights turn on. That's what's gonna get me. The grandmother hearing the song and then seeing the lights turn on, that's gonna get me. But that's neither here nor there. These are the 4 anime that I have just giving you the early reviews because only 3 episodes out for him so far. And yeah, once again, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me here at Planet Woo. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Hit the bell notification if you haven't already. And like I said, I appreciate y'all. So this is calwu from Planet Woo signing off. Peace.
See the hunger, I ain't scared cause my mom ain't raised no feast. In a booth, on the rise, I am Baker with the yeast. Dropping more bombs than Funk Master.